Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast brought to you by Manscaped.com. Do check out Manscaped.com, guys. It is serving balls worldwide. We've got that promo code. It's WrestleSlam. As always, do use that, okay? It's very effective. 20% off, You say a lot of savings there if you're on the market and you're looking to invest. 20% goes a long way. So WrestleSlam is your promo code, and that proudly sponsors the WrestleSlam podcast. I'm joined by Philip Conley, and yet again, a lot of the team are away this week, so look, they will be back next week. But as you said, there's been a lot of news, a lot of speculation. I want to go balls deep. Phil, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he is trending, and it seems to be, Phil, that he wants a match, and I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? They reached out to him, all right, because I think they want to go all hands on deck for the next WrestleMania. So I'd be intrigued to see where it goes, because I don't know who he's going to fight.
Well, I was on Instagram, and we operate the WrestleSlam Sports Matters Instagrams, and it was just I was watching him train, and his rotation, his physique it's pretty impressive. He looks he looks better than he ever looked. Like his flexibility, for example, looks really good. He's doing a lot of kind of knee squats, and he's doing all sorts of exercises. But I think he got that little craving after the Kevin Owens match, and we could see something big, Phil.
Oh, definitely. For me, there's only 2 or 3 people he can fight. Surely, like John Cena, a huge name. Ideally, everyone wants him to fight CM Punk because there's a bit of beef there. Even if Punk just comes in to do that match, like there's no signing contracts, no nothing, just do this one program.
Well, as you say, Punk has nothing to lose, and I think it'll be in his best interest if he did come back and I suppose maybe took a loss to Stone Cold. That will probably, people will have respect for him, because look, obviously there's a lot of hatred at the moment in regards to Punk. A lot of fans are pissed off what he's done in All Elite Wrestling. His attitude and maybe the timing, but maybe if he goes back to WWE, fights Stone Cold Steve Austin, and does his bit there, maybe the fans will forgive.
It's all about just how he handles himself. It's almost like that Ronaldo thing, which he totally went off saying, but it's kind of similar situation because his next move is very important.
It is, but see, there's a lot of fans as well, Phil, back in Ronaldo. So, like, will the fans back CM Punk? That's the question. It doesn't look that way at the moment, but it's going to be interesting. So, you say there's 3 people that he could fight. So you say Punk, Cena. Anyone else that you'd like to see him perhaps fight?
Sami Zayn is another name that just keeps coming up.
That would be class.
Just because they need to give him a big match going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I suppose the last match against Knoxville was pretty good,
Yeah, it's just keeping him hot now. That's the big thing.
It is indeed. What was your thoughts on Austin Theory? Obviously, he was pretty messed around last week, but now it looks like Triple H actually had an idea all along. It's going to be Triple H's version of Austin Theory, which was impressive last night in Raw.
You know what? The big thing I was reading, someone said it today, it's almost like the child is gone and now he's become a man.
Yeah, you could see something just have to switch in, and he's have to grow on a bit of a beard, and he just looks more dominant. Like he laid out Seth Rollins, as you've probably seen.
Yeah, oh, it's unreal. It's a great thing for him. He needed direction for months, and this is the thing that brings him to the next level, because he is talented and he is good.
Is he the future?
Sure, he's 24, 25, so I can't say he isn't, but he definitely has something to him. I'd love to see him. Well, maybe this is the start of it, but I'd love to see him just get that bit higher, even for himself, because just to get that confidence going and get kind of character going, because he was lost for about 3-4 months.
He was, but it just seems to me now that like Triple H had a plan all along, and we kind of seen it last night. Obviously, he lost the Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
but he comes to Raw.
Basically snaps.
Yeah, explain why he cashed in, and he's got this new kind of look. As you said, he still looks like Austin Theory, but the childish look is kind of gone.
Yeah, it's like the boy has become a man.
It does.
Which is a great thing. It's a good thing. Get him away from all that selfie stuff, because like he needs something else to get him to the next level. Like that wasn't going to get him into the main events.
No,
what he was.
no. It's going to be interesting. It remains to see what will happen next. But look, obviously, Rollins defeated Balor to retain the championship. And obviously, look, we see what happened with Austin Theory. Interesting, and we will see what happens in due course, which I'm excited about. Now, obviously, the major news this week, Phil, is that Kevin Owens apparently has suffered a major, not a minor, a major injury. So, what's your thoughts on this?
From when I was looking at it, I think it's probably come at the best time for him.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing going on with him ever since this whole Johnny Gargano thing changed for whatever reason. I prefer if they were a tag team, but it looks like he's out for 8 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's his right knee.
Yeah, so it's always never good when a wrestler gets injured, and I never wish anything on anyone. But he needed a break.
Yeah,
because he needs a change in character, and I don't know how to change him.
Yeah, as you said, there was talks he was going to team up with Sami Zayn, but obviously Sami's on a run. I think that originally was the plan. Sami was going to team up with Kevin Owens, but because Sami is the number one trend right now in the company alongside Roman Reigns, it's like they can't really move him. They want to stay with the Usos. Usolicious. But yeah, as you say, 8 weeks is a long time. That could be
it's about Royal Rumble time.
Yeah. So does he come back at the Rumble, or does he wait until Mania? I'd say obviously.
I told him all. I wouldn't put him in the Royal Rumble because if you don't have a plan for him in the Rumble match, there's no point in him going in and getting eliminated. Unless there's a plan for him.
Completely agree. Completely agree. What was your take on? Obviously, we've seen over the week there's many things that we will touch base on quickly, but things that we have to discuss. Paige, apparently Paige is all clear, All Elite Wrestling, and she is going to make a full-time return and return at All Elite full gear. So do you think that's great news? Obviously, look, we wanted to see Paige back, but do you think WWE are kicking themselves right now?
I don't know about kicking themselves, but they definitely wanted to sign her because there's definitely, I think she said it, that there was an offer there for her to come back before she signed this one. My worry now is this going to be like Austin, where every fall she takes, you're kind of worried about her?
Yeah, well, I suppose we would have kind of same with Edge and Daniel Bryan.
It'll take a few months to get used to it again.
Yeah, but no, it's great news. Look, we're delighted that Paige, Aka, Sarah is back, and obviously, look, there's a lot of people speculating, how will she take the knocks and stuff. But look, she's a warrior. She's always been a warrior. She's been through a lot more. So look, it looks like the in-ring return will happen at All Elite Wrestling full gear, which will no doubt bring a lot of viewers into watch that, which will be brilliant as well. Other rumors at this moment in time is that Maradona, Phil, is linked with a return to WWE. What's your take on that?
I think it's definitely coming. It's just when, because the last Impact, Chelsea Green walked out on Impact saying she's going home. Yeah. So are they going to come in as a duo, which I could see happening as well? Because again, she was one of those talents that never got that fair chance, and then she was let go.
Yeah, she's definitely.
Triple H seems to be fixing all that. So
does he come back as Mark Cardona, or does he come back as Zack Ryder?
Mark Cardona, because he has all the power now.
Yeah, it'd be kind of strange if he went back to Zack Ryder, but it's obviously good for business. Look, we know that he's done extremely well since he's left. Obviously Impact, he's been doing a lot of the indie scene. We've seen him in Dublin recently at OTT. He's a pretty big deal. Obviously, a former Intercontinental Champion. Is it fair to say he could maybe go a step further, or is he happy enough to play the Miz role? Is it the case of he comes back and he's mid card, or what do you reckon happens?
It's a very hard one to call, that one.
Yeah,
it's like he is talented, because we've seen him live, and his match with LJ was one of the best live matches we've seen this year.
Incredible.
So there is something to him. Again, he's a bit like a lot of wrestlers. How do you get them to the next level? He connects. He's like mid Cardona, but he's mid, but he can't get to the next level. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I suppose when you have
I love Brock. I think he's great.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think and move back to I first of all, I think his heart is in WWE. I think it's always been there. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's ever wanted to depart, and obviously he's done that, and he's done extremely well. But it's interesting.
He's got a big match at the weekend then at the TNA Impact special.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll win the tag belts.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, it could be the sign of him leaving. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. There's many things trending. Obviously, look, we know that there was an incident there last week with Scarlett. There was a fan threw alcohol over her. I suppose you can't tolerate that, Phil. That's not right. Like in this world, is it that you do stuff like that?
Where was that? What was that in America? Was it?
It was, yeah. So it was actually a WWE fan. So it was main event.
It was a pensioner apparently.
Yeah, it was in it was a live.
Yeah, it was a live event, but like it was just something you never really hear about. She must have said something to her.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's you can't really tolerate that. It's as you said. Look, we were lucky enough to meet her at WrestleCon, an absolute gem, really nice girl. But it's that's making headlines. It's not a nice thing, really, is it? They shouldn't really tolerate.
It's horrible. You shouldn't be put in that situation. And the thing is, like, I'd say something if it was a 12 or 13-year-old kid. So we seen that live happen once with Rene Dupree many years ago.
Yeah.
Where the young fella just threw a whole drink over him.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. I think a fan should be banned for life if that's the case, and banned not just from wrestling but from all entertainment sports around the world.
Well, from that arena for sure.
Yeah, 100%. But it's not a nice thing. And look, it's something that we have to bring up. Obviously, look, it's truly trending. But yet again, the main trend right now is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we want to know, guys, what's your take on Stone Cold Steve Austin? Is he going to come back? Is he not going to come back? He's training. Why is he training? Opponents. I think John Cena for me, Phil, is the one. I think
with LA, it's very possible. But realistically, it's CM Punk Austin as everyone wanted to see for years.
Yeah.
And but again, I don't know.
We have to revert back to his match with Kevin Owens. He looked incredible. The bumps looked good, and I think afterwards he felt good.
Yeah, he looked so much better than we were worried. Again, that's similar to Page. We were worried going into it. Every single fall that he'd take, would he land on the back of his neck and he'd be in pain? But no, he looked $1 million out there. And I think he got, do you know what? He got that adrenaline rush again that he was missing for a long, long time. And he was craving more, so we probably will see more. As long as he's just restricted to that match, I'm okay. I'm not okay with him being in the Royal Rumble and winning it. So just so everyone knows that wouldn't come. And there's actually 2 bits of news there that just popped up.
Yeah.
Just while we were starting, Sasha Banks is going to be at the Comic-Con in May. So does that mean she's gone?
Looks like it.
Yeah. Which is interesting because I thought she'd be back by now.
Yeah. We all did, and she appeared on the intro there recently again. So like everyone was like, "Oh, she must be back." But I don't know. It seems to be one of them things. She's gone a long time. She's left before and she's come back. She's been injured before she's come back. So it's losing momentum, in my opinion, Phil. I think people won't care anymore.
It's the same thing with Scarlett. Like she's gone so long now as well. People are starting to. When she does return, it won't be as big.
No, it won't. I personally reckon Charlotte will be back for the Rumble. I don't see why you should bring her back now. I think Rumble
That's
for
the
me
thing as well about the Royal Rumble. If Sasha Banks is not in that Women's Royal Rumble, then she's done, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But time will tell. Now, speaking of women, and we have to mention, Phil, this is definitely worth a mention. Obviously, we have Overdrive Impact, and 2 of your favorite ladies outside of WWE, Jordynne Grace, Masha Slamovic.
Yeah,
they will fight live this Friday. Fight TV. So if you haven't got that, guys, make sure you check it out. Impact Overdrive, the last standing knockouts world championship match. Jordynne Grace versus Masha Slamovic.
It's gonna be something.
What's your take on these two? Because obviously, look, we've been lucky enough to speak to these girls in the past. What's your take? Obviously, these girls are they're destined for absolute greatness, and look, they're doing a lot of Impact as we speak.
They are so good. Like if you look back at Jordynne Grace 2 years ago, the transformation of her is incredible. The problem is the earlier this year, I think she put something stupid on Twitter, and people seem to take a turn against her. But since then, she's kind of got her head down and she's done the business, and she's put on banger after banger, as Sheamus says. But yeah, and then Slamovich is just. I know you were supposed to interview her once, and there was issues with technical.
Technical issues. Yeah.
So hopefully she'll be on again in the future.
Oh yeah, we'll always have her. There's no doubt there. But it's they're incredible.
Her and two of them ladies had such an amazing match at the last pay-per-view. Definitely best women's match of 22.
Yeah, it's got a lot of potential. Look, speaking of another women's match, career-threatening match, and this one for me it's a big one. Mickie James versus Taylor Wilde. Now, as we say, look, these are veterans, Phil, when it comes to Impact. If Mickie loses, then she will retire from in-ring competition. It's a career-threatening match. What's your take? Is Mickie bowing out, or is it the case of no?
I think she's bowing out from Impact. I think her and Nick are going to end up in WWE. I can just see it.
Yeah, Nick Alice, that's something that we will come to in a sec. But yeah, it's an interesting match. Obviously, look, she's a legend when it comes to Impact and WWE. Taylor Wilde, it's good to see her back. You know, she's been there for so many years.
Apparently, the problem with her was visa issues. They couldn't get the visas to get her back over the borders, but it's all sorted now.
No, it is. It is.
So it's good to see. And the thing is, with that particular match, I'd actually have Taylor Wilde lose and then turn heel.
Makes sense. It makes sense. I think it's well overdue. But
especially because they're running out of female athletes in Impact. So
yeah.
They need fresh blood, I suppose, in the main event scene.
They do indeed. Now we have to mention Bully Ray versus Moose. There's obviously Death Dolls versus Savannah Evans and Tasha Steeles. Heat and Rhino versus the major players. Black Taurus, Trey Miguel. Obviously, then Josh Alexander versus Frankie Kazarian. It's
match. That's gonna be. Do you know what? Frankie Kazarian won't win, but it'll be his career-defining match in the last few years for sure.
Yeah, he's been around a long time, isn't he? I think. What is he? He could be.
He's a DNA veteran from the old days, yeah.
Yeah, and he was Suicide for a while as well. I actually met him when he was Suicide, which was crazy.
Yeah.
So it's he's the original Suicide as well too, isn't he?
Him and Christopher Daniels used to jump back and forth.
Yeah, interesting. But it's a good card, Overdrive, and I know you're a massive Impact fan.
I know I'd be watching that for sure. No, there's to be fair now, there's not anything on it that I would say that's for a wrestling fan. This is certainly one to watch at the weekend. It's a whole weekend of wrestling. AEW have a full gear as well on the Saturday. There's just so much going at you, and then the week after you Survivor Series, so there's no kind of slowing down.
Yeah, we have there's a conference call tomorrow with Tony Khan, so look, we should have a representative from WrestleSlam on the conference call as well. But I was going to get to Full Gear, and what I want to get to straight away, Phil, there's no doubt about it. Jon Moxley versus MJF. Are we going to see MJF become All Elite World Champion?
If he doesn't, then the company, Tony Khan, should just give up. There's no need for MJF to lose again. Another big one. How he wins is the question, though. I've talked about before, and I definitely say it again. I think Regal should turn on Moxley, 200%.
And it looks that I think that might happen. Now, obviously, there is consequences there as well. Obviously, look, Regal's got a great thing going with Brandon Doyle. Like, obviously, Brian, Claudio, there's a great thing going there, but does he gain more going with MJF? Does that mean to you, look, that's all the respect the man needs? And look,
if you look at it in the long term, not just that small thing with being with MJF, because MJF obviously don't need anyone. It's the William Regal's protege versus Jon Moxley feud, in 3-4 months' time. That's where the money is.
Yeah.
So you might have Wheeler Yuta versus Jon Moxley, or whoever. Like, it could be even Brian Powerhouse Hobbs or someone like that. Like Moxley's at a weird stage in his career where he doesn't need to win matches and he's still over.
Yeah.
So
like he's a two-time champion already. He's he's number one on that chart table for All Elite Wrestling. He's done really well. Look, his stock is high. So yeah, as you say, MGF has everything to gain.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, he's signed a 5-year deal, Moxley, very recently. So Moxley losing to a powerhouse Hobbs does more for Hobbs than anything else. Like it's just not maybe not powerhouse Hobbs, but like you know what I mean. Someone on the rise, Ricky Starks even. Yeah. Just someone that needs a win to get them people to go, Jesus, he's after beating Moxley, so he can definitely win the world belt. Just something to get you thinking, I guess.
Yeah. And look, the card itself is pretty impressive. Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter for the interim All Elite Women's Championship. We need to see, look, there needs to be the main title. Obviously, look, Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, DMD versus Paige, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby Allin.
That's an interesting one.
Jungle Boy, Jack Perry.
Cage match, yeah,
there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. Even
and it's also as well, they're teasing it for weeks, but it'll be the return of the Elite. What they're going to do though is the question.
And are they going to come into that match? That's the Ethan Page. And
I don't know. That's what's intriguing about it, because they seem to be deleting them, but they're not really.
Yeah, I think Omega comes into that match anyway, in my opinion, because it's obviously when it receives an All Elite World Championship match.
Yeah.
At Winter is coming. So, like, you have, you know what I mean, Ethan Page or Brandado, and you have to be determined. So, who is that? Is it Omega? Is it a new guy?
Wasn't there a match on Rampage this week? I can't remember. It's gone off the top of my head.
To determine that, is it?
Yeah, there's a number one contender match on either Rampage or Dynamite.
Yeah, that's Brian Cage, I think it is. And
yeah, it's Brian Cage, yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have Brian Cage.
Hopefully Brian Cage wins it.
Lance Archer, Ricky Starks, yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. But it's a good card. We have a massive weekend here for all the wrestling fans around the world. Impact and All Elite Wrestling at its finest. Obviously, SmackDown will be on Friday as well. And there's rumors that WWE are set to announce another European show, which should be in the UK. And they're looking at potentially
early January for some reason,
which is beautiful. Which is something.
It's actually around your birthday is when it's on.
Yeah, well, once it's not your birthday in February, Phil, we're laughing because we always seem to. They announced Manny Pacquiao there, and it's on September, and yet again it falls on one of the kids' birthdays. But look, it's going to be interesting. But look, yet again, guys, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning into our show. We're going to make a short sweet this week.
There's just one thing there that I just saw there, right?
Yeah.
Randy Orton in a hospital bed, in a hospital gown, talking about going under the knife, just there.
I completely forgot about that, yeah. So
that just came out there while we were doing the show.
Yeah, it's not looking good. That's obviously a big operation when you're under the knife, no matter what it is, you know.
The problem is, like, I understand he was probably supposed to fight Matt Riddle, so it's not like it's a feud that can, you know, like that could be done in SummerSlam.
Yeah, like I'd love to see Matt Riddle and Randy Orton be like Cesaro and Sheamus. They just don't fight, you know.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That it's a long-term thing. They could always reunite down the road, because I think originally when I thought about it, I said to myself, no, I don't like this, but they did really good together. I think it was good business, good structure. They worked well together. So I think they should just leave it alone. I think that, you know what I mean, it'll be the case of down the road they'll both help each other in some avenue or some path. But people reckon Randy Orton might not come back to wrestle, you know?
Yeah, I heard that as well. Like, that would be a shame. Like,
yeah. One of the greatest ever, do you know what I mean? Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So
he's such a man that I wish we met him. Like, we've never met him.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll come to Cork and Dublin at some stage, or the UK, but we will get it. You know, it's something that will definitely happen in the near future. But yet again, guys, we said we're going to keep the show short and sweet this week, as it's, you know what I mean, there's been a bit happening, but not a lot. And as you say, look, the team are away this week, but we will
try and get a prediction show, because there's a lot out at the weekend.
There is, and we'll be in Limerick as well. There's a big event in Limerick. So Hard Knocks Limerick Sunday, we will be there. We'll have interviews and a lot more available next week. So do stay tuned for that. Myself, Phil, and Matt will be there, and I believe some of the other team might be there as well. So look, until then, have a good one. Thank you for tuning our way as always. The show's brought to you by Manscaped.com. For myself, Jerry, and from Phil. We'll catch you soon. Thank you for watching all our shows, and do stay tuned to WrestleSlam, the podcast. Make sure you subscribe on our YouTube channel too. The subscribers are going up slowly, which is great. It means it's working.
Subscribe, comment, and like the channels.
Definitely. And let us know who you think Stone Cold Steve Austin will fight if he does return for our WrestleMania or for some pay-per-view. So until then, guys, be safe. God bless. We'll catch you soon.